bring to your attention a conversation that I've thought about for most of this week, and it has to do with ideologies and political parties in Nigeria. Now, according to data, statistics, or according to the numbers as published by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in 2023, there were three major political parties. So out of the about 22 million votes, thereabout. I'm trying to remember the figure, so I had to take a pause, but thereabout. About the 22 or 21 plus million votes that were cast during the 2023 elections, three political parties came out tops, right? So we had the APC with over 8 million votes. We then had in second place the PDP with about 6,700,000, or was it 800,000 thereabout. And then we had in third place Labour Party with 6+ million as well. And my goodness, it was a wonderful contest, a contest that got a lot of people glued to the TV sets for days, because they were waiting to see the outcome of the general elections, the presidential election. We saw for the first time somewhat of a 3-horse race. However, almost a year after the elections, or even more than a year, I think it's more than a year now, some of the political parties, about 2 or even not 3 of these major political parties are going through major crisis. Now, someone would say to me, conflict is inevitable when there are 2 or more people living in the same space or doing business in the same space, because there will be background differences, educational differences, tribal differences, religious differences, basically ideological differences, or even the way you view life, in terms of principles and philosophies, all of those differences. However, having a common goal, having a common understanding is what keeps is what keeps that society. It's what keeps the unity, so to say. So looking at various countries, of course, there are people with different. In America, for instance, we have the Democrats, we have the Republicans, we even have the ones who are not for Republicans or Democrats. They've got different political ideologies, and yet they all seem to coexist in that space, in that society, because there is a social contract, and there is a common interest, there is a common understanding, and that is that the society must grow in terms of development, in terms of economics, in terms of freedom and all the like, democracy as they call it. So in a space where there are 2 or more people, there is bound to be disagreements. But the level of disagreements in some of these parties is fast becoming alarming. And the reason why I want to point out the current situation or state of the political parties to you is because, like I've said a couple of times, and I'll say it for the upteenth time now, political parties are very important because it is the vehicle through which we arrive at good leadership. Now, without that vehicle, we may never arrive at good leadership. I say may because maybe if we do edit the constitution, or we do amend the constitution, then we could allow for independent candidacy. But up until then, we need the political parties to be able to get good presidents, good governors, good lawmakers at the national, at the state level. And without good leadership, we can have a good country. And without a good country, we might just be lost as Nigerians, except you want to go, to another country and accept another, nationality. And like I've asked on, several occasions as well, as a country, do we have a common interest? Do we have a common ideology? Do we have a common understanding? And this has nothing to do with tribe. This has nothing to do with religion. I'm saying as a people now, do we understand that it's not about what we think or what we do, but it's basically about ensuring that there is development. We've got the basic amenities. We've got water supply in our houses. We've got steady power supply because we have the capacity to do that. We have good road networks. We have businesses coming to invest in the country. Do we have these common goals? Or, like as we've seen in many years now, that it's all about individuality. It could be individuality as in a person, or individuality as in a group, or individuality as in a tribe, or individuality as in a religion. But it's always about individuality. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. And I'm saying all of this, to point to the fact that the Labour Party is having one of its greatest tests since its existence, I like to think. There was the National Convention in Inewi, Anambra State, that has been deemed to be not good enough by the NLC and some other top personalities of the Labour Party, right? Julius Abure was said to have, hastily conducted that convention. I'm not taking sides. I'm just narrating what is out there in the media space. And a lot of people are not happy, and they're saying even if you want to come back as national chairman, do it the right way. But now Julius Abure is scared that he may not, according to the narrative, may not win. And that's why he's done. But, the Julius camp is saying, oh, we did the right thing. We did it the right way. We've done what we're supposed to do. And anybody who's not happy, including the NLC, there's nothing that you can do about it. Julius Abure remains the chairman of the party. And that's for the Labour Party. And the fight goes on. The PDP, can I say, I don't know, so it doesn't look like I'm castigating the PDP, but they have their own problems. They have their own problems. Ugochiere was on my show yesterday, and he mentioned some of the problems. There are camps in the PDP. There are people who are for Wike, and there are people who are for Atiku. And as a matter of fact, according to Ugochiere, the acting national chairman is working in tandem with the opposition, the APC. I'll go for a quick commercial break. When I come back, I'll tell you some more. Just stay tuned. in Rivers State. Rivers governorship candidate party, and I said, "Oh, of course, Honorable Lugochira was on the show yesterday, and he mentioned the troubles in the party, and they're calling for the removal of Damagam, who is the acting national chairman, and once again, for about three times now, successive times." Whoever sat there as chairman, whether in acting capacity or as substantive. The APC has also had its own arguments. They've been there just before Ganduje became chairman, and now Ganduje, of course, is now going to be tried by the Kano state's government, and we're seeing how that will affect the APC, by the way. But just before Ganduje became chairman, we also saw the ramblings. We saw the aggrieved persons in the APC as well, which has pointed to one thing: all of the problems, Labour Party, PDP, APC, even NNPP. By the way, today the NNPP were in the news, and it had to do with logo, changing of logo, and making it reflect only Kwankwaso, and his people, the Kwankwasia movement. And there is now the battle for the control of the NNPP as well, which is, amongst the other parties, the one that attempted to win a state, and that's Kano State, amongst the other parties, except for the three I've mentioned. So when we look at it, it looks like why we are getting it wrong as it pertains to leadership is because we have individuals who are stronger than the political party system. And in the past 2-3 weeks or even months, I've listened to some of the callers, and a lot of the callers have shown their political stance, and you have people you support. And I've tried to ask this question a couple of times. These people, are you supporting them because they believe in the common interest, the common understanding, or are you supporting them because they believe in the party ideology, or are you supporting them because you feel they best express the kind of individual that you are or you can be, and that's where I'm looking at it from. But basically, the question I'm trying to ask this hour is, do we even have a national direction? Okay, let's scratch that. National is up there. Do we even have a state direction and say, okay, this is the focus of the state, this is what we want to achieve with the state? Now, I'm looking at Akwa Ibom, and I'm going to make references now. Akwa Ibom seem to have a direction. They seem to want to change the narrative of how people view Akwa Ibomites and Akwa Ibom, and so for successive governments, they have focused on development. We've seen them build health centers, airports, roads. Now they're talking about, I think they're talking about something else, but we've seen them build, schools and all of that stuff. Now, they have airlines, they have very wonderful investments. That's Akwa Ibom State, right? Once upon a time, I don't know about now, Cross River had a direction. They wanted to be the tourism epicenter, right? They wanted to be where everybody wanted to go spend a holiday or spend vacation, right? In Nigeria, there was once upon a time, right? Lagos seems to be the economic hub where businesses want to invest. They want to start businesses there. There is similarly a direction in Lagos State. Ogun State is fast catching up with Lagos State because the direction. I was listening to the governor a few months ago, and the direction as well is in the same path where they're getting enough investors. They want to make it a business hub. They want to make the state a business hub. Now the question I'm asking on the show is, well, what is the direction? What is the direction of River State? And it's a very honest question. I mean, maybe there is a direction, maybe there isn't. I don't know. You can tell me. But what really is the direction that River State is traveling on? All right, that's the first question. The other question is looking at it from a national perspective. We get to talk about renewed hope agenda every now and then, and we hear the president come out to say, things are beginning to yield fruits. But really, is it things? What things basically? Do we have a national expectation, or we the people, we the followers, because of how poor the political parties' ideologies are, forgive me for saying that, we also have a poor orientation as to what to expect from government. And if I throw a question, I think I did throw the question at the time, what do you expect from the incoming government, during an electioneering season? A lot of people would not want to answer. A lot of people would not even answer because they basically don't even know. And maybe it is the reason why we celebrate these politicians when they build roads, when they build bridges, when they build hospitals, when they build educational centers. We praise them and make it look like they've done what no other man could have done. All right, I'm going to open the phone lines now. I've got two questions. And number one question, looking at the ideologies of the political parties, the three or even the four, maybe I could add NNPP to the mix. Looking at how controversies characterize them, because I like I said, there are differences, and differences can happen when there are two or more people in a space or in a group. However, when the ideologies hold the group together, the society together. Do we have such ideologies as a state, as a nation, even the political parties? Because the political parties largely is a reflection of the country. Yeah, I think so, because that's where our leaders emanate from. Anyways, the phone lines are open: 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. Now, the WhatsApp network is unstable. I don't know, the little rain that fell not too long ago has made the WhatsApp connection unstable, but you can still try. 0809-030-6416 is the WhatsApp number. I do not know if Facebook is let's see. Okay, we're live in are we I need to check, sorry. I need to be sure. All right, so yeah, we're very much live on Facebook, Nigerian for PH. So you could drop your comments. We're live on YouTube as well, Nigerian for PH. You could drop your comments as well, and we're very active on X. And let's get to interact as well. So the question I'm asking is very simple, and I'm wondering, do we have, as a state, okay, this is the barest minimum. This is the general interest. This is the general, goal of the state, beyond the roads and all of that. But I've got Braid, and Braid is calling me from Port Harcourt Township.
Greetings to Mr. Batubo.
Greetings to you, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Batubo, the question you asked, for me, River State will lack direction right now. Why am I saying that? If you look at our political leadership, that is what will show us the right track. But if you look at since democracy, River State lacks direction. If you ask me, now if you look at our seaport has gone moribund because of leadership. If we have a good leadership, Lagos seaport is thriving. Tell me why our seaport will not thrive. If you look at our industry, come to Trans-Amadi today, you will agree with me that River State is far backward. And if you look at our mechanized farming, River State is also zero. Look at the refineries that is in Port Harcourt. Look at the road linked to refineries. Look how that road is today. To tell you that River State is backward, is the leadership of Alfred Dikesi. After that leadership, military government comes in and do their best. Since we come into democracy, I have not seen any tangible thing that we could beat our chest to say this is what our democracy has given to us.
All right.
Rather, it's back and forth, killing here and here, gangsterism.
All right, Brad, I've got to go. I get your answer, but I've got to go. Your answer is no.
Thank you. And God bless.
Thank you, and God bless you as well. I've got Ilumba from Port Harcourt. Ilumba, welcome.
I agree with you, Canada.
Yes, welcome.
He said this is where this my Oga talk now, this Brad talk now. It's actually what I'm about to talk. But one thing we have been busy raising for River State here is political labor. If you cool down, check from the time all the little and all the way till now, you will know that we have more political able than ever any other development in River State here. Then it comes to the national. National is busy raising strong men that are stronger than the country. Are you getting me? This is exactly what they did 1983 that make the military take over. When the people, human beings, try to be bigger than the whole country, and that human being are not using his own ingenuity or using his own anything that he can make up. He used the same national resources to try to do. This crisis you mentioned now is a result of another political party interfering to another political party. Did you hear what you go to yourself for your station yesterday? Most of those things, APC sponsor the problem that you see that are going on all over the places.
But for Ilumba,
somebody who has not participated in anything for LP come and cause trouble in law court, and court allow the man to go free. When there is no rule of law, country can never work. No matter
Ilumba, you're spoken. Can I ask you a question?
We are complaining. We don't complain.
All right, thank you very much. Your answer is no. I wanted to ask you a question, but you refused to listen. I've got Muriel from Okrika. Muriel, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, KDB, good evening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, KDB, when you talked about ideology the first time, I laughed. You know, when we hear this word from America, we just speak in Canadian. We just think it that we were practicing it. You know, Americans, they believe in two ideology, the Republicans and the Democrats. The Republicans are the old school, you know, they just want the old school America kind of thing, you know. Then the Democrats, the new school, yeah, transgender, gay, everybody should be allowed to be happy, you know. But over here it's different. Now, you ask, what is the headway for River State? Look, Canada, I want to say, for the first time in my life, I have seen the SDP, the APC, and other political parties shift their sword, kept all their ideologies to themselves, and have decided they want River State to thrive. They want River State to grow. All of them have decided to support the governor, the present governor. So you will see that the average River man wants River State to thrive.
But when you say, see now, when you not Muriel, pause. When you say thrive, that's like to how do I put it? It's not direct enough. It's too open.
River State to succeed. succeed, Canada.
Of course, but in what way? When you say, see, I can come out and say I want you to succeed, but in what way? When you say you want Rivers State, so what are the barest minimum? Or rather, the basic minimum? What is it for you?
Do you know that they said after Lagos State is Rivers State?
Where do they say? Where do they say those things?
The huge gap Lagos has against Rivers State. The gap is just too much.
Where do they say that after Lagos it's Rivers? I'm wondering.
Yeah, that's what they said. But the gap is just too humongous, KDB.
Okay.
So I believe that in the heart of every Rivers man, even those that are residents in Rivers State, we just want all these politics to just calm down. Let the average Rivers man be able to feed himself.
All right, then.
Let the things we can be able to produce within ourselves. Let us have this kid, let Rivers State succeed in a way, both politically, both economically and otherwise.
I'm anyways, thank you, Muriel. But I'm still struggling to understand what you mean by succeed and thrive. Because, of course, when you say let Rivers State succeed, are you saying that we should have more rich politicians in Rivers State? Are you saying we should have more rich men in Rivers State? Or are you saying we should have, the basic amenities and even bigger developments, bigger economic developments in Rivers State? So, you see, these are the things. And it looks like we don't have a proper marker as to what should be the barest minimum when it comes to development in Rivers State and nationally as well. I've got this one. It says, in my opinion, I say emphatically that political parties don't have or share the same ideology. The only area where political parties share the same ideology is embezzlement of public funds and increasing the hardship of their fellow countrymen. Right now from Oji. I'd like to hear from you. Keep those calls coming in. And let's talk for development. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. All right, what is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you. I'm taking this one. 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good evening, KD.
Yeah, what's your name, please?
Hector.
All right, Hector, welcome.
Thank you. Really, political parties have no ideology, not just in the River State, but in Nigeria in general. In River State, as a case study, the only ideology and philosophy political parties have is to divide mankind and then create enemies, and then while the segments of the society they created now make them demigods and then worship them in the form of worship, political worship. Now, Miriam made comparison with River State and the Lagos State. When it comes for industrialization, when it comes for development, Lagos State has set the pace for every other state to follow. But what we have here in River State since 1999 is politics. We even export politicians to other states. Other states learn politics from River State. We start with politics and end with politics. We start the day with politics and sleep in politics. The food we eat is politics. So everything about River State, Nigerians knows us for, is politics from 1999 to date. So that is what we are known for. There is no a master plan for industrialization. Imagine, even if you see, have you asked why is it that all our investors from River State, the big men from River State, always take their investment to Lagos State? They invest in Lagos, the likes of Oyeko, Briggs, and the rest of them. Chef the Goggle are all our prominent names that the Nigerians are known. They take their investments in Lagos. They are not in River State. So what is the problem? Because we play bad politics in times of election when you are not in a good record of a ruling government. They come for your investment. So what happens? The state keeps on going backward. We are not progressing.
All right.
Right? So that's the problem we have until we change our pattern of politics. the state will continue to progress in error.
All right, then. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hector. There on X, Barack Wills Osimiri is saying the system is bastardized with the same crops of politicians who jump from pillar to post for selfish reason. I guess you meant to say, yeah, because selfish is what is there. And you said, for me, all political parties are the same with same Nigerian politicians. Okay, at Barack_government, that's the handle. But I've got Clinton, and Clinton is calling from Bori. Clinton, welcome. What is on your mind?
Alada, thank you very much. I have been saying this on this platform, that the political parties in Nigeria do not have any form of ideology. What we have are individual ideologies, individual principles. And that's why some of us follow individuals instead of political parties. Now, you talk about River State having a blueprint. We don't have. Why? Because the institutions that are supposed to come together to enhance leadership have been politicized. You talk about the traditional rulers. They are the sacred or most revered institutions in River State. But these people have been pocketed by political leaders. These people, the politicians, are now bigger than our traditional institutions. These are the people that are supposed to give them directives on what to do, the blueprint for River State. Lagos, the Obas, do you think that any governor of Lagos is bigger than an Oba? No. Until our traditional rulers rise up to the occasion and checkmate these governors, senators, we will not get it right in River State. That's the truth.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We've got Stanley from Port Harcourt. Stanley, it's good to have you.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, greetings to you, Stanley.
Yeah, good evening. I can hear you.
I'm listening to you. I'm listening. I'm waiting for your thoughts, please.
Okay, yeah. In River State, we have a good way, political will, party political way, especially in the PDP in the state. But because of some demigods, some people that see that demigods, they will always want to destabilize the political will of the government of the day. That has been our problem in the state. And then, if you look very well, you find out that even the federal government are capitalizing on that note, because River State, when compared, can be compared to Lagos State in terms of infrastructural development and industrialization. Hence, to build a big gap on that, the federal government is capitalizing on this crisis in River State to develop more in Lagos.
All right.
And most of our politicians are not aware of that. We find that has been our problem over time, and it's happening right now in the state.
All right. All right, then. All right, thank you very much, Stanley. You've got to go. I've got a commercial coming up in a jiffy. But this one says they are laying up wealth for themselves and their families at the peril of the masses. My happiness is God is watching and will surely pay everyone according to his work. This one says politics is no longer what it is known for. How can you be a member of PDP and working for APC? God forbid. Confidence in everything from us is UHA. This one says we have no direction, no ideology, except celebrate lies and ignorance. Ogun, Lagos, Akwa Ibom, Borno, Kebbi have directions. It was Amechi that wanted to create directions by introducing Greater Port Harcourt, investing in agriculture. For politics, we have strong men, but no political ideology. If you watch PDP in Nigeria, no direction. APC today, the same. Joe with that comment. All right, it's time for a commercial break. After the commercial break, it will be time for the news at 6. So when we do come back, I believe the open season, if yet again we don't have any interruptions, commercial interruptions, we'll come back and we'll talk and we'll look at some of these issues. To stay tuned.